got to talk about 1975, and we've got to talk about that appearance on Parkinson.
Yeah.
Just for people who don't know about it, tell us about the particular story you told on the show, which meant the next day you were literally...
I was famous the next day.
You were a household name within 24 hours.
Yes. I went on Mike Parkinson's show, and a guy had told me a joke the previous week in Spain. I was at a football match in Spain. And a guy ran up to me in the street on the way to the park, and he told me the joke. And I fell against a wall. When he told me, my back against the wall, I was laughing, and he walked away, and I've never met him since. And it was about a guy who murdered his wife. And he was telling his friend, I murdered my wife. And he said, oh, come on, give me a break. He said, I'll show you. And he takes him round to a shed behind his house. And he opens the door, and there's just an empty shed with a mound of earth and a bum sticking out of it. And he said, that's her. And he said, my God, why did you leave her bum sticking out? He said, I need somewhere to park my bike. When he told me it, the power of my legs left me. I was sliding down the wall. When I was going into the show, I was in the limo with my manager, Frank Lynch, and he said, whatever you do, don't tell that joke. It'll be the end of you. And during the show, I got the idea, this is a time for the joke. And I did it, and it had the most devastating effect on Parky. He was speechless. And the audience were in an uproar for ages. And the following day, I was going through Heathrow, and a Chinese guy asked me for my autograph. I thought, that's weird. And I got to Glasgow, and I was coming through the main lobby of the airport, and everybody burst into applause. And that was it. I had done it. I was famous.
And what did your manager say after you'd done it?
He just shook his head.
I understand, and I believe it because you said it, but I find it hard to believe that you have often been petrified before going on stage, yet when you're on stage you seem like the most confident performer in the world.
The fear of performance got worse as the years went by. It never got better. It got worse and worse and worse. And I've met loads of guys who were like that. Robin Williams was like that. He didn't show it, but he told me he was the same. It's bizarre. And the walk to the stage, it goes away. From the side of the stage to the microphone. It goes away and you become this other person. It's hard to describe and sounds a bit pretentious, but you become another guy. Your voice changes. The level, the timbre of your voice changes. You become this confident person, like a salesman. And it's the most blissful feeling.
Is it something you can do almost without thought?
Yes. I never prepared for shows. I would try and think of something to say first. I wouldn't think out my act, but I would try and think of what I was going to say the first time they heard my voice. I would try and get that down. Sometimes it wouldn't come. Most of the time it came. And then it just flowed on from there. They and me together.
So you could go out for a 2-hour, sometimes 3-hour gig.
Yes.
Literally without an act, but with a sort of shopping list of topics.
That's right.
In your brain.
Yeah. And
stories around that you fleshed out, that you wrote down once or
no,
not?
I never wrote them down.
Nothing ever?
Never.
Incredible, Billy.
I thought that's what everybody was doing.
Well, it wasn't, and it isn't, is it?
It isn't, and comedians write to me, and when they meet me, they say, how did you write? I have trouble writing my stuff. How do you do it? And I say, I don't do it.
That must be so frustrating for them.
It's because I thought that's the way to do it. I thought that's what everybody was doing.
So you do pick subjects and you do tell stories around the subjects, anecdotal and otherwise, but you do have funny thoughts. So there is the element of a sort of joke writer, in there, because there's the magnify windscreen as opposed to wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Now that's a funny thought. That's not a story. That is the beginning of a joke, isn't it?
That's the way they all come.
Right.
They all come as a sentence or an idea.
Right.
And then you expand on it.
So, like replacing the national anthem with the Archers theme.
Yes, that was one of my better ideas.
So that's the initial seed.
Yes.
And then you just riff off that.
There you do it, and your body takes over as well.
Right.
You sort of dance to the Archers, and you become another guy and mess around, and it's lovely.
When your watch used to go off in your act, because I've seen this happen. I saw you do this, and your alarm went off on your digital watch when digital watches have sort of just come out.
Yeah.
And it interrupted you full flow. And it was hilarious. And then you went on to a riff about your watch. And then about 10 years later, when I was a bit more cynical, I thought, I bet his watch was set to go off in the middle of the act. Come on now.
No.
Seriously?
No, it just happened.
Really?
Yeah.
But after that, did it not occur to you think, oh, we should do that more often? We should get my watch to go off more often.
Yeah, when you try it, it doesn't work. You don't get the same feed from it.
Right.
When you try and do it. Sometimes funny lines continue to be funny forever, and they bounce you into another area. But the physical things don't work, like alarms and stuff like that.
So, who's most like you that you saw? Would it be Robin Williams? Would you cite him amongst others, or above others, perhaps?
Yeah, I like Stuart Lee.
Yeah.
And there's a guy, is it Ancaster?
I don't know.
He's great. I've been watching Tonight at the Apollo.
James Acaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
Okay, again, no, these are jokeless comedians.
Just thoughts, random thoughts.
So, on the way here today or yesterday, do you still have the random thoughts? Or
No, they come at odd times.
Right.
Like last night, I was singing in my sleep. And my daughter told me, she heard me singing in my sleep.
Yeah.
And if I was going on tonight on stage, I would be talking about that.
Go on, begin. Give us the first couple of minutes. How would you start?
I can't, you have to be there to do it.
I'm here, come on, we're here. We're in the studio, come on.
No.
So you're singing in your sleep?
Yeah, that would be the start of it.
Yeah.
I would continue to think about it during the day, and then it would go away, and then it would come back. And then I would forget what it was.
Singing in your sleep. What were you singing?
She can't remember. She said it was a jolly join-in song. I was urging people to join in.
And you don't remember it either?
I don't remember it.
So I wonder, talking in
That's the second time I've done it.
Right.
I was fishing in Utah with my son. We were sharing this cabin.
Right.
And he said you were laughing and singing all night. So I don't know what that's about.
So you even sleep happy? You sleep funny?
Sometimes I fight.
In your sleep?
I fight, yeah, and I fall out of the bed trying to punch people.
What else do you know you might have done in your sleep?
That's about the size of it.
Well, it's more than I've ever done in my sleep, as far as I'm aware.
The Chris Evans Breakfast Show with Sky.